name's Denise McCabe and I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator in Australia on the New South Wales Central Coast, and this is my Make-Up Monday for today. Today I'm going to be playing around with the stamping blends and some alcohol, isopropyl, can't say it, and getting some wash, art ink wash sort of effects for backgrounds of cards. So just bear with me while I turn my camera around and we'll get started. Okay, so we're going to play today with a technique with the stamping blends, the blender pens, and some alcohol, this stuff, diggers. I got it at Bunnings. It was just under $10 for this bottle. So these are the ones I've played with so far on Vellum. And what's inspired me to do this, in the new catalogue that comes out next week, there's the most beautiful suite of products, and the DSP is just gorgeous, and it's got all this alcohol ink blended paper. It's just beautiful. So I had to have a play with the technique. So these two were on Vellum. This is on the watercolor paper, but I did this a bit differently because you can't just put the blend straight on. I'll show you that in a minute. So I used acetate. This is on the shimmery white paper. And this is where I put the blend straight to the paper, and it doesn't work, so you've got to use the acetate and then push it into it. This is on Glossy Card stock. We used to have it, but you can buy glossy photo paper, that works. And this has got a border because it's soaked through onto the paper side, but you could always cut that off. So in my little technique book, I do have a technique where I used Isopropyl before. Let me just find, it's called Polished Stone Effect. And that's where you use Isopropyl. It's the one you can get from the chemist with the alligator on it. So yeah, so I have used it before, and you get that kind of effect with the polished stone technique. So I just was keen to try this technique. So let's have a play. So I've got all my bits and pieces here. So we'll do Vellum first. I'll put those aside. So these were my two samples of Vellum. So what you need is a paintbrush, your Isopropyl, and I've put some into a little container because I found that was easiest. So I'll just put a little bit more after my playing. And if anybody remembers the old Stampin' Up spritzer tool, we used to put our markers in here and you'd puff it and it'd splatter onto your cardstock. Well, this has been retired for some time, but I found it in the bottom of my drawer, so I got it out, and I'll show you what you can use that for. If you don't still have one of these, if you got rid of it when it retired, you can use a straw. So let's have a play. What colours will I do? Maybe I'll do these colours. So it's good to use darker colours because the alcohol does sort of make the colours go a little bit lighter. So this is Dark Melon Mambo, Dark Misty Moonlight, and Dark Granny Apple Green. So with the brush of your not aqua painter, Stampin' blends on your Vellum, having a bit of a memory blank here. You can do it one colour at a time if you like. And just around the edges to soften the edges. And I'll show you what happens when you use the puffer. You can spread it. So this is the Misty Moonlight. Don't get your blends up onto the other colour because you don't want to contaminate the tip of each different colour blend. It's always good to have some paper towel nearby. And I just dab it on like that, and then just soften the edges, and then they sort of mix in. And the Granny Apple Green. You can do it all in one go, which is what I did with these two, but I think I'm having more success this way, just one colour at a time. And just soften there. I really like the splatter effect. It's just fun playing with techniques. So it's going to be one of those techniques that no two times will you get it to look the same. And we might use our little puffer. Sometimes it's good not to get rid of everything. And I'm just going to go up in here. I do like playing with techniques. It's quite a lot of fun. And then this would be a backing for a card. I will put two colours on at once now that I'm getting down to the end. So I've watched a few YouTube tutorials. Linda Dolke has done one, and Alyssa Tilsner has done one, and Michelle Jutrissa, have trouble with her name, she's also done one. Yeah, I think I like this one better than my trial runs. I don't know what's going to happen if I do up here a bit more. Best not to sort of blend the colours together because that muddies the colours up. But that's really cool. I like that. Looks like a beetle now. Sorry. But see how if you get too much into each colour, it sort of muddies. There we go. Didn't want the beetle. So that's on vellum. So I'll just put that over to one side to dry off while we play a bit more. That's really cool. I like that. I like it better than these ones. These ones are still cool, but I like that. Okay, so the next one I did was onto watercolor paper. Whoops. And what I did was I used a piece of acetate or window sheet. So here's my watercolor paper. And just now these colors I've got here are dark blackberry bliss, dark just jade, and dark mango melody. So this one you have to sort of do all in one go on the window sheet. Might go down in here too. That's going to have more yellow, but that's okay. We can see how it turns out. So that's onto the window sheet. I hope you can see that. And then I just splattered the alcohol onto it. You need an alcohol that's not over 90% based alcohol. Otherwise it doesn't work. It doesn't work with that alligator one. I do try and soften the lines a bit when I'm doing it with this window sheet stuff. Now because the paper, where's my dough, is quite thick, it doesn't take as well as the Vellum. So just press it down. And I just get my little tool to lift it up. See, now that hasn't taken the yellow there. It's still quite a nice effect. But yeah, so this one worked a bit better. So as you can see, no, you won't get the same effect every time. You'll get totally different effects. That's quite nice though. I quite like it. So that was on the watercolor paper. Okay, so got to put some of the alcohol on here to get this ink off. It sounds a bit strange, but that's what won't come off without it. So I'll just get my other piece of paper towel. It's good to have a room ventilated when you're using it, because you don't want to asphyxiate yourself with the alcohol smell. Okay, so this one was on the shimmer paint paper, the shimmer white paper. Now that's where I've done, I think it was Granny Apple Green, I just did it on there, and I tried to put the alcohol around it, but the paper just sucks the blend colour in and it won't let it spread. So that's why it was better to do it on this. So what colours shall I do? I might do these colours. So what are these? These are Melon Mumbo. Actually, no, I won't. I'm going to do the ones I did onto the glossy. So this is Dark Cajun Craze. Now, I've got one of these craft sheets underneath. Just because the alcohol might run off and then your paper gets all wet and boggy, and so I just thought that might be better to have one of these underneath my working. Now this is a lot of yellow again, so I wonder whether the yellow will take. So it's just a matter of experimenting with your colours as well. An eyedropper would also work instead of trying to splash it on with the paintbrush. I don't have an eyedropper. But then the paintbrush helps you get rid of the lines. You can sort of blend the lines of the marker and sort of make it a bit more. I like the look of that. So this is the shimmery white paper. So I just lay it over the top. And because the paper is so absorbent, it does sort of look like it comes straight through. So I'll just make sure I lift that off. Yeah, see, it doesn't spread as well as the Vellum. I'm thinking the Vellum is the best one, but still, it's still a good effect. And you could punch shapes out, die cut shapes out. Now, what's the last one? The last one is Glossy Card. So let me just clean up my acetate or window sheet. I'm not coughing from the smell of the alcohol. I'm coughing because I've got a chest infection. Excuse me. Okay. Let's go back to these colours and see what it looks like with the glossy cardstock. So There was a police helicopter flying over and I can hear it coming back. I waited before I did my makeup Monday because I could hear it. And now it's coming back, so I wonder what they're looking for. Rosie and I are safe, that's the main thing. Where's my paintbrush? Gets lost in amongst all of it. So sorry about the helicopter. If it's not a dog barking or the couple next door renovating, it's a police helicopter. Rosie's in here with me on her pillow. That looks quite cool. I like that. Okay, so glossy cardstock face down. It's going to go around the edge, but if you don't like that border like this one got, you can just trim it down, which is probably what I would do. Oh, see, that's interesting. I might, what if I could do that a bit more there? Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I don't mind that. I'm thinking the glossy paper and the vellum are the best because they sort of take to the ink. I like that one. It's funny how at first I wasn't sure. Do you want me to try another vellum? I might just try one more vellum. I'll have to get some out to cut up. I get addicted to playing with these things. Go away, helicopter. Oh, it's not. Unbelievable. Okay, so what colours did we do? Let's see what colours we can make. I might try the Cajun Craze again and just see how that goes. Cajun Craze. I might do Just Jade. I wonder if Blackberry Bliss would work. Let's see what those colours come up with. Then I won't bore you anymore with it. But this time we did it one at a time. So get your alcohol. And you can get your puffer. Spread it. I do like the blobbiness, if that's a technical word. It's important not to butt up against the other colours with your blends because you don't want to contaminate the tips of your blends. You don't actually have to do a lot of the blowing with the straw or the puffer thing. Spritzer tool. But if you want to, you can. Was that the colour I was using? I think it was. But when you get them together, they can get sort of a bit muddy and yucky. Yeah, I think I like the vellum and the glossy cardstock the best. definitely can get some better effects with it. Cajun Craze just down the bottom. There we go. You want to sort of run it. Put some more down here. You get a bit addicted to it. Alyssa Tilsner said that. And you do get a bit addicted to it. So there you go. So that's my Makeup Monday for this week. It's stamping blends and the alcohol. So this is called Digger's Isopropyl Alcohol. I bought that at Bunnings this morning and it was just under $10. I had a really huge container which was $27. I didn't think I needed that. But yeah, oh no, I like that. Look at that. That's coming together nicely. And I do like it on the Glossy cardstock. So they're glossy. What are these? These are the Watercolor Paper. Just doesn't spread as much because it can't absorb into the paper. And this is the shimmery white. They're still really nice. Make a nice background, or you could cut images out with that. Die cut things out with it. But I think my favourite's the Vellum and the Glossy. Anyway, thanks for watching my Makeup Monday today. Bye.